Let's jump right in. We're going to unpack a super simple framework that could honestly change how you tackle just about any problem, whether you're at work or just navigating life. It's all about building a little architecture for your own clear thinking. So, you know the feeling, right? You're in a meeting, a new project just dropped on your desk, or maybe a client sends a request. A problem pops up, and our brains, they're just wired for action. So, our very first instinct is to immediately ask ourselves, this one. This is the question we all leap to. Okay, how do we get this done? We immediately start brainstorming the steps, the tools, the whole process. And it feels productive, doesn't it? We're taking action. But, and this is the whole point, it turns out that this instinct, this rush to get things done, is actually a trap. It's probably one of the biggest mistakes we make, and it sends us running down the wrong path more often than not. And here's why it's a trap. See, acting without clarity isn't real progress. It's just movement without any direction. You're basically just spinning your wheels. You're creating a lot of activity, but not necessarily making an impact. What we really want is intentional action, where every single step we take has a clear purpose behind it. So let's just give this thing a name. We'll call it the how first trap. It's our completely natural instinct to jump straight to the solution. Because, let's be honest, it feels good. It gives us a sense of control, of moving forward. And when we're stuck in this trap, what are we thinking about? Well, exactly these things. We're arguing about the right methodology, we're picking out tools, mapping out a complicated process, defining the deliverables. We are literally building the how before we even really get the what or the why. So, how do we get out of this trap? It actually starts with a really simple but incredibly powerful shift in our thinking. Instead of jumping to how, we have to force ourselves to start with the first, most important question. And that question is simply, what is actually happening here? We've got to peel back the layers. This isn't about what the email subject line says or what the initial request sounds like. It's about getting to the bottom of the real situation. And this illustrates the idea perfectly. The request you get might be for a customer survey, but the real situation, the thing that's actually going on, is that customer renewals are dropping. Or someone asks for a new dashboard, but the real problem is a total lack of visibility across the entire team. You see, the request is often just the symptom, not the actual disease. Okay, so once we've figured out the what, the reality of what's going on, we still can't jump to how. Not yet. There's one more critical question we have to ask ourselves to make sure our work has a real purpose. And that question is, why does this even matter? And to get to that answer, you can use these little diagnostic questions. Who is actually affected by this? What are the real consequences if we just do nothing at all? And this one's huge. What important decision is waiting on this? This right here is the real payoff of asking why. Without it, our work is just activity. It's a bunch of tasks we check off a to-do list. But with the why, that exact same work gets transformed. It becomes purposeful, it feels meaningful, and it's tied directly to an outcome that actually matters. So now, let's bring it all together. This whole thing isn't about avoiding action or slowing down. It's about earning the right to act by first achieving something way more valuable, clarity. So, this is the crucial takeaway. Execution, the how, absolutely has its place. Of course it does. But it's not the starting point. It is the final logical outcome that just flows naturally once you have a rock-solid understanding of the what and the why. So here it is, the whole framework in its proper, powerful sequence. Step 1, what is actually happening? Step 2, why does it matter? And only then, once you've nailed those two, do you move to step 3, how should we act? Getting this order right? Well, it's everything. And listen, this isn't just for big, complex work projects. The real takeaway here is that this framework can become your own personal, kind of underrated advantage in almost every single part of your life. Just think about it for a second. Are you trying to choose a new project to work on? Ask what, why, how. Are you getting ready for a difficult conversation with someone? Ask what, why, how. This even applies to how you consume information, like trying to make sense of a news story. It just sharpens your thinking everywhere. At the end of the day, this isn't just a framework, it's a habit you build. It's about making a conscious choice to slow down just for a moment, to move from a knee-jerk reaction into a state of genuine understanding. And that little pause, that's where all the quality thinking really happens. I really love this line from the source material. We live in a world that is just obsessed with speed, right? Move fast and break things. But this is such a good reminder that the real power, the true advantage, comes from clarity. Clarity is what makes sure your speed is pointed in the right direction. So much of our day is just noise, requests, data, opinions, all of it flying at us. The difference between getting lost in all that noise and actually finding a real insight isn't some complicated secret. It's simply remembering to ask, what, why, how, in that order. That's it. That's the whole secret sauce. Ask these 3 simple questions, and you will be amazed at how much sharper and more effective your thinking becomes.